So continuing the trend of licensed games and the fact that Mario Kart DS was selling like wildfire, Cartoon Network launched a racing game with Cartoon Network characters. Duh. The game was launched for the Nintendo DS and the PlayStation 2, but both versions play really different from each other, with the DS version playing like Mario Kart DS and the PlayStation playing like Double Dash. The version we are going to be reviewing today is the DS version. So first, let's get something out of the way. Cartoon Network had already launched a racing game for the Game Boy Advance, and it was a really crappy one. The movement was lazy, the gameplay was broken, the mechanics of getting new characters were sloppy, and there were no balance between the characters. Sheep in the Big City, but no Dexter or Powerpuff Girls? Really? So with that in mind, they had a lot of slack to pick up. Starting off, the character roster is really good. We have the Powerpuff Girls, Dexter's Lab, I Am Weasel, Courage the Cowardly Dog, Cow and Chicken, and Johnny Bravo. No Ed, Edd and Eddy though. Oh well, we have to stick with the fact that they appear in the beginning of the game. There wouldn't be too many interesting characters to unlock from them though, aside from maybe Johnny and Plank. Okay, let's start talking about the bad first. If you've never played this game, get ready because you will take a lot of time to get used to these controls. You press the A button to speed up, B to brake, L to shoot items, R to quote-unquote drift, X to use a special attack, and the D-pad to turn. Once you start playing, you quickly understand how shaky the steering is in this game. Every turn feels like I'm digging my finger into the D-pad in order to execute them. And even though there is a drifting system, you learn to avoid it because it's so stupid. If you press R, you start drifting, but it's like I'm coming to a full stop in order to get it done. There are also these stars scattered throughout the tracks that give each character an ability. But because you can only fill your special meter with stars or by hitting your rivals with items, you pretty much only have your special move once per race. The special moves are different between each character. For example, I Am Weasel gets Super Style, which is like a bullet bill of Mario Kart universe, and you might get to use it while in first place. Each Powerpuff Girl uses a hazardous attack, and Dee Dee gets a flying move, only to name a few. A problem I have with this game are the rockets that act as red shells. The problem being they always come in groups of 3. So whenever your rival uses a rocket on you, you know you got 2 more coming. You're like in 4th place trying to catch up, and the ones far away from me, with no chance to catch up, are firing at me. Another thing is that I have been playing the game for more than 10 years now, and I still cannot seem to get a boost start on the beginning of each race. And the worst is that 3 or 4 NPC rival racers always seem to take off with a rocket off their butts. No wonder Johnny Bravo is driving like that. There are also extremely long races in this game. Why did anyone ever thought it was a good idea to make a track take 5 minutes to complete? It's annoying! Playing with lighter characters is also hard. When you bump into a heavy character, it seems like your car stops and the character you bumped into takes off. And yet when they bump into me, the same doesn't happen. I would comment on how the NPC characters are not playing fair, but they don't have access to their special moves, so it kinda evens out a little. Now, I think I'm giving the wrong impression of this game. I actually really enjoy this. The music is so interesting. It really makes you feel you are in a Cartoon Network universe. Even if Outer Space Chase is a cringe copy of Rainbow Road, at least the music is freaking fantastic. We can also drive in tracks dedicated to the cartoons, like Townsville, Dexter's Lab, Cow and Chicken School, Aaron City, The Middle of Nowhere. Interestingly though, there is no track for I Am Weasel. I always figure it was the Desert Island race. I don't know, I never really watched this show. This actually brings me to the next aspect. After playing so much with Weasel, cause he is my favorite character in this game, I really started enjoying this show. And the car he drives in the intro is the same he drives in the game. It shows that there was some effort put into this game because some characters stayed true to their source material. There are also these coins scattered throughout each race, which are used to buy more characters, fonts, or even 3 episodes from Cartoon Network shows. Actually, the DS version forces you to rebuy the characters you already own if you want to keep on playing on higher difficulties. Hashtag lame. There are time trials, but they are hard as hell. If you beat all the time trials, you unlock a special character, which I'm not going to tell you who he is, which is the fastest character in the game. But it's really not worth it. You might as well give your name Gimme before you start the game. Trust me, it's worth it. There is no quick race mode, which is kinda sad. There are some things in this game that you can see that are completely copied from Mario Kart, like the difficulty of the cups being measured by the thing that speeds you up, only 8 racers in each race, several of the items, etc. But yet they didn't had Wi-Fi gameplay? That's sad considering Mario Kart DS had it. You can also play some minigames like a sketch type of minigame and the curling minigame, which you don't really have to, but hey, they're there. To finish, I gotta say that in whatever difficulty you are playing, it seems like the AI is really turned up to 11. It's a licensed game that challenged me with no precedent. It took me a week for 10-year-old me to finish the second cup. Even now playing as an adult, I found the hardest difficult really challenging. I dare you to try to play this game in the hardest mode, it's really difficult. Now, before I get to the positive and negative aspects, I think I gotta say something about the PS2 version. Even though it feels so copied from Double Dash, it feels like all the cartoons actually came together to race. The selection screens are awesome, you have more special powers and even more characters, and the game looks really good too. Okay, so positive notes. The character roster is really vast, even though it's a little more limited than the PS2 version. Special powers separate this game from Mario Kart DS. It's an extremely challenging game, whether you master the controls or not. And the fact that it helped me start liking shows that I wouldn't otherwise watch as a kid. However, on the negative side, the controls are really hard to maneuver. The game is short and it can easily become repetitive. The rocket item is annoying to get hit with. Playing with light characters is hard, and the fact that after all these years I still can't get a boost start in the beginning of each race just makes me sick! So for all the improvement on the previous racing game Cartoon Network made, great music, vast variety of characters, and attempt to make a game that tried, but failed, not to copy Mario Kart DS, I give this game a 7 out of 12 with the title of Great. Oh god, what is she doing? Thank you so much for watching the second episode of Hui Reviews, and I'd like to take a moment to thank the producers of these shows for making such quality cartoons. Growing up, the only good cartoons were in Cartoon Network, but they were all in this language I could not speak. If it wasn't for them, I don't think I would be speaking English the way I do today.